This conference will now be recorded.
Hello guys, welcome to Kumar Consulting, and guys, welcome back. So once again, we are going to have a look on the next question. Look at here, guys. The next question is so related to the currency translation. Look at here. The next question is, what do you mean by translation ratio? Or it could be, what do you mean by currency translation ratio? What do you mean by foreign currency translation ratio? Or all are having like gives the same meaning. So what do you mean by translation ratio, guys? Now here, for this, you need to hope you will be able to remember the foreign currency setting, guys, where I have covered. I'll just show you. I've already opened recipe here. So now, whenever we go for foreign currency setting, guys, I might have told you or might have explained you that first of all, we are going to, first of all, before specifying the currency rate, what is happening? We are going to specify the currency translation ratio. Say, for example, okay, so I always give example of Tata Motors. So what we are going to give, let's suppose here, I'm going to give our exchange rate type M. Let's suppose USD versus INR, Indian currency, and here I'm going to give current date itself, 27, and ratio 1:1. Always we give 1:1. Always we give 1:1. Save this now. So, and once we give this translation ratio, then only what is happening, guys, then we are going to give here the rate. We are going to specify the rate. Okay. Now we'll do one thing. Click on inventory and here give a validity again 27th itself I'm going to give, and here let's suppose USD and here INR. So 1 USD equals to, let's suppose, how much INR, guys? Let's suppose 100 INR. Okay, 1 USD equals to, let's suppose, 100 Indian currency. Now just save it. So based on that, if you post a transaction, look at here, if you're going to post a transaction here in current date itself, so now here what is happening, guys? Give your GL account. Okay. Any debit or credit we are going to take, and here only 1 USD. Here USD we are going to give. Okay. So everything is fine. Now just post it. Okay, so now we are going to have a look here, display, and we'll check the, so 1 USD, if you're going to display currency, here it is showing. Now here, I'll tell you guys, now here what is happening. So in most of the cases, what is happening, translation ratio, we are going to specify 1:1 itself. Okay, 1:1 itself. But what is the role of translation ratio? I'll tell you. What is the role of translation ratio? That I'll tell you. Now let's suppose here we are having USD versus Indian currency. USD versus multiple other currencies are there, let's suppose, right? Now, so since our currency value is of course lower than USD, okay, but it is not comparatively, it's not huge in the sense like it's not too much lower. Okay, of course it's lower, but it's not too much lower. I'll put a different example. Let's suppose we are having USD versus, now there is a country called Iran. Okay, so if you talk about Iranian currency, it stands for, I guess, IRR. Yes, this is the. So guys, here Indian USD versus, so 1 USD equals to, let's suppose, how much Indian currency, guys? It might be 65, 70, whatever it is, right? I have specified 100, so I'll keep 100 itself. Say for example, this is not the original figure, but say for example, but 1 USD equals to how much Iranian currency, guys? If you're going to have a look on Google, it will show around 41,000 some changes will be there, or might be 42,000 rupees will be there. Now let's suppose even I'll take the amount in round figure itself and I'll keep 40,000. Okay, so what is happening, guys? Look at here, this value is huge value. This value is huge value, right? This value is huge value, and if you are going to maintain this rate into SAP, then SAP is not going to accept, because what is happening? Why SAP is not going to accept, guys? Because I'll show you the reason. Because here after that, even system should have a space to keep this 5 decimal places also, right? After decimals, 5 digits are going to be accepted. Okay, so there should be a space for this 5. This after decimal 5 digit space supposed to be there, right? So I'll just do one thing, guys. Here, okay. So it should be like this. I will make it like this. Okay, so it should be like this. Okay, so what about this one? Is it this much length supposed to be there? I'll just come here and we'll have a look. Okay, here, right? If I'm going to maintain the exchange rate for this USD versus Iranian currency, right? Iranian currency means, let's suppose, so 40,000, right? 40,000 I have given, and then here let's suppose I'm going to give IRR and press enter. First of all, system itself is not accepting this. 40,000 is not accepting, right? System will accept if you're going to give 4,000, then press enter. System is going to accept. Why system is going to accept, guys? Because after that we are having a space for this 5 after decimal 5 digits space are there, right? So even here in exchange rate table we are having certain limitations that currencies till 4 digits only is going to be taken by, is just going to be considered, right? So then what will happen then? How we are going to, if you are going to specify 4,000 here, then what will happen, right? Then this is not the correct picture. It's not going to show you the correct picture. So I'll show you now. Since here I'm not having configurations for Iranian currencies, guys, so just assume that our Indian currency prices itself, our Indian currency value itself is like quite lower. Okay, and 1 USD equals to 40,000 Indian currency, right? 1 USD equals to 40,000 Indian currency. Okay, let's suppose here I'm going to specify 40,000, but system is not going to consider 40,000 is not going to be considered because here the length is too much, right? So system is taking 4,000. System is taking 4,000, right? And you save it. Now system has taken 1 USD equals to 4,000 INR. So if you are going to post the invoice here, then here system will show, if you're going to post 1 USD, system is going to show 4,000 INR in Indian currency. But what is happening, guys? Here 4,000, right? Okay, so here what is happening, guys? Now, but the actual value is 40,000. So what is happening, guys? In this translation ratio, currency translation ratio, which shows the relationship between two currency, what kind of relation is there, 1:1 or what? So now we are saying that now the currency relation is not 1:1, guys. Instead of, it's not 1:1. Right now, what we have given, 1:1, right? If you are able to see here, guys, what we have given, 1:1. Look at here, not here, guys, not here, here actually. We have given 1:1, right? So now 1:1 means system is going to calculate 1:1 here we have given and here rate we have given. Let me remove this Iranian currency. It might be creating some confusion to you. Now save it. So now here 1:1. So whenever we are going to post a transaction, okay, whenever we are going to post a transaction, then what is happening, guys? Now here 1 USD equals to 4,000 Indian currency. right? But the requirement is 1 USD equals to 40,000 Indian currency. So this translation ratio is going to be changed here USD and here INR, right? So this translation ratio 1 USD versus here 10 Indian currency. So what is happening, guys? If you are going to post a transaction like 1 USD, okay, 1 USD. So here Indian currency is going to multiply 4,000 multiplied 10. So system is going to calculate the correct figure. I'll show you guys here. I'll show you guys here. What we have given here, first of all, let me show you here. So here USD versus INR, right? So 1 is to 10. Okay, and then what we have done, guys, we have specified the rate also, that is 1 USD equals to how much? 4,000 INR. So whenever we are going to post a transactions, now what is happening here? What is happening, guys? Then system is going to, how system is going to calculate this 4,000 multiplied 10, and then system is going to count the value. So I'll just do one thing, guys. Now we'll post the transactions. Once again, we are going to use FB50 and then we'll post the transaction. Okay, here USD and then give you again this GL debit 1 USD itself, and here we are going to give. Okay, now so this time if you are going to post 1 USD, then what is happening? Just save it. System is going to show you how much. Click on display. System is going to convert this USD into local currency, in the sense Indian currency, and the amount supposed to be 40,000. Look at here, guys, the magic. Look at here, now system has taken 40,000. So what is happening, guys? This, first of all, the translation ratio. What is the use of translation ratio, guys? Translation ratio shows the relationship between two currencies. It is showing the relationship between two currencies. That is the first thing. Second thing, in most of the cases, we are going to specify 1:1 translation ratio itself. But if the currency value, if the one currency value is quite low or quite lower compared to the second one or compared to the other one, then in that case, what is happening, guys? We are going to specify a different ratio. It could be 1:10, it could be 1:100. And better, instead of saying some definitions and all, what is happening, guys? Better to quote the example itself. Okay, whatever example I have given, USD versus Iranian currency. Likewise, we are having other examples also, right? There are multiple countries where the currencies values are quite low. Why? Because of some instabilities are there in that country, or else because of huge inflation rates are there in that country. So that is why their currency value is quite low, right? So like the recent example is there of Venezuela, where certain crisis is happening, and people are like one burger prices are also there in some lakhs or something, right? So now in that case, what is happening for such kind of countries? So their currency values are quite low, and if you are going to specify those currencies rates into SAP, then SAP is not having SAP till 4 digits. SAP is going to accept, because after that certain decimal places are supposed to be also space supposed to be there, right? So in that case, system is going to take only 4 digits. But if the currency value is like it is there in 40,000, 50,000, 20,000, in that case, what is happening, guys? Here the ratios we are going to give. Okay, that should become low. So now what we are going to give? We are going to give the ratios. Okay, we are going to specify the ratio. Translation ratio. So in translation ratio, we are going to specify either 1:10, 1:100 as per our requirement, and then based on that, we are going to specify the rate here. We are going to specify the rate here. If we have given 1:10, then what is happening, guys? Whatever the current rate is there, okay? If currency ratio we have given 1:10, and here 1 USD equals to 40,000 Indian currency, right? So 40,000 divided by 10. So now what is happening, guys? Look at here, the value becomes smaller, right? Or else if you are going to specify here 100, 1:100, then 40,000 divided by 100, so it will be 400 only, right? So this is how easily we are going to specify the rates in the exchange rate table, right? Let's suppose 1 USD equals to 4 lakh Indian currency. In that case, what is happening, guys? Then in that case, we are going to specify 1 is to 100 or else 1 is to thousands, right? So this is the major use of this translation ratio, guys. Hope you are able to understand what do you mean by translation ratio. Whatever I said, I've specified here, like currency translation ratio shows the relationship between two currencies, right? But in most of the cases, we specify the translation ratio 1 is to 1. But if the both currencies are not comparable, for example, one currency value is having quite low or lower value compared to the other one, in that case, what is happening, guys? We are going to use a different translation ratio. It could be 1 is to 10, it could be 1 is to 100, and then you have to quote the example. Or else, instead of saying these many things, simply you can quote the example itself, that if the currency prices are quite low, and you can quote the example, say for example this or this currency pair, and you can give the example that if this is the price, so if you are going to maintain that rate into SAP, SAP is not going to accept, because the value is quite lower, right? It's there in 5 digits, it's there in 6 digits. Here till 4 digits only is going to be accepted, because after that there will be certain place for the decimal space, for the decimal places also, right? Decimal digits also. So in that case, what is happening? We are going to specify a different translation ratio. It could be 1 is to 10. So what is happening? If we are going to specify 1 is to 10, then whatever the currency value is there, that is going to be divided by 10. So the value become lower, and that price is going to be specified in the exchange rate table. Okay, so this is what the use of currency translation ratio or foreign currency translation ratio. During classes, what is happening, guys? Simply I used to say that you just specify 1 is to 1 here, but this is the impact of this translation ratio. If you're going to specify 1 is to 10, then what is the impact? I have shown you. If you're going to specify 1 is to 100, what is the impact? I have shown you guys practically here. This is the use of translation ratio or foreign currency translation ratio. That's all, guys. That's all in this session.